Children's. Okay, yesterday we are discussed in plant kingdom introduction and some important important characters of algae. Today we will discuss and about classification of algae. So, classification of algae, there are three types: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae. At what basis algae classified into three classes? At what basis? Based on pigments, mainly based on pigments, or other characters like reserved food material, structure of algae, either unicellular or multicellular. Based on these characters, algae classified into three groups. And very important to remember, the suffix word of the class is called as a phaeophyceae, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae. What are the three classes of algae? So, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae. In all classes, the suffix word of the class is called phaeophyceae. So, not only this one, and in angiosperms divided into two classes, dicotyledon and monocotyledon. So, cotyledone, suffix word of the class is called as vodine or phaeophyceae. So, and first class is chlorophyceae. Green color algae are called chlorophyceae. What is the habitat of green algae? Mostly freshwater. 90% of this algae is present in freshwater. Rarely 10% is marine water. So, the green color algae is called as a chlorophyceae, and the habitat of green algae is fresh-water, and the pigment present in the chlorophyceae, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and also other additional or accessory pigments are carotenoids and xanthophylls. But why only this algae appear green color, and also carotenoids are red or orange color, xanthophylls is yellow color, and also other pigments are additional pigments are present. Why these algae are appear and green color? Because of dominant pigment is chlorophyll pigments. Very important to remember while we are studying photosynthesis. How many pigments are present in photosynthesis? Means there are four pigments: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoids and xanthophylls. But so, and in algae, so in chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E, and different types of pigments are present in the algae. But in photosynthesis, A and B. In plant photosynthesis, A and B. In algae, A, B, C, D, E pigments are present in the different types of algae. So, because of the chlorophyll, the pigments are dominating pigment. But what is the pigment? Where it is present? Pigments are present in the chloroplast. But what is the function of pigments? What is the location of pigment? The location of pigments, observe the light energy. Location of pigment, chloroplast. And this green color algae, they are unicellular or multicellular. Cell wall is differentiated two layers, outer layer and inner layer. Outer layer is made up of pectin, inner layer is made up of cellulose. The reserved food material of green algae is starch. The starch is present in the pyranid. Pyranids are present in the chloroplast. Yesterday we are discussing cell structure. The cell is covered by cell wall. Cell wall is differentiated two layers. Below the cell wall, cell membrane is present. Below the cell membrane, for example, this is the cell. This is the cell. This is the cell wall. Cell wall is differentiated two layers. Next, this is cell membrane. Then below the cell membrane, and what is present? Cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, it containing chloroplast. Chloroplast. In chloroplast is present. They are called as a pyrenoids. Pyrenoids are storaging food material is called as a starch. Means finally what you understand, starch is present in the pyranid. Pyranids are present in the chloroplast. So finally the reserved food material of green algae is starch. And next, the shape of chloroplast vary from species to species. For example, discoid shape of chloroplast are present in Kara or Chara. What is the shape of chloroplast in Kara or Chara? Discoid shape. Cup-shaped chloroplasts are present in Chlamydomonas. Ribbon-shaped chloroplasts are present in Spirogyra. Star-shaped chloroplasts are present in Zygnema. And girdle-shaped chloroplasts are present in Ulothrix. See children, so and in the cytoplasm it contains chloroplasts are vary in shapes, species to species. Discoid shape of chloroplast is present in Chara. Cup-shaped chloroplasts are present in Chlamydomonas. Ribbon-shaped chloroplast is present in Spirogyra. Star-shaped chloroplast present in Zygnema. Girdle-shaped chloroplasts are present in Ulothrix. Next, after the vegetative characters, reproduction in green algae. In green algae reproduction, there are three types: vegetative, asexual, sexual. Vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. What is meant by fragmentation? The filament broken into a pieces or fragments. Each fragment develops into a new thallus. Green algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. Green algae asexually reproduces by zoospores. But what is zoospores? Zoospores are motile spores. Motile means what is the motility structures of, and what is the motility structure means, for example, this is one spore, 2 to 8 equal flagella attached to apical side. This is the apical portion. 2 to 8 equal flagellas are attached to the apical portion of the spores. Then sexually reproduces by isogamous Anisogamous. Oogamous. Once again, yesterday I told you the definitions of isogamous and anisogamous and oogamous. The fusion of male and female gametes are similar in size is called as a isogamous. The fusion of male and female gametes are dissimilar in size is called as a anisogamous. What is mean by oogamous? What is the definition of oogamous? Means smaller non-motile male gamete fuse with the smaller motile male gamete fuses with the larger non-motile female gamete, or female gamete is called as a oogamous. Next, very important. So, examples of green algae. Chlamydomonas, Cara, Ulothrix, Spirogyra is the examples of the green algae. See once again, and green algae is called as a chlorophyll. Mostly they are freshwater. The pigment present in the green algae is chlorophyll A and B, and other additional pigment carotenoid and xanthophyll. Dominant pigment is the chlorophyll pigments. They are unicellular or multicellular because of Chlamydomonas is a unicellular motile green algae, and Ulothrix spirogyra is a filamentous algae, means which containing unicellular and multicellular algae. In green algae, cell wall is differentiated, two layer, outer layer made up of pectin, inner layer is made up of cellulose. Pectin means it is gelatinous. When we are touch the outer layer, it is look like a gum-like structure. The reserved food material of green algae is starch. Starch is present in the pyranid. Pyranids are present. This is the starch. Starch is present in the pyranid. Pyranids are present in the chloroplast. The chloroplast shape is vary species to species. Discoid shape is very important to remember. The shapes of chloroplast: discoid in Cara, cup shaped Chlamydomonas, ribbon shaped Spirogyra, star shaped Zygnema, girdle shaped Ulothrix. The reproduction of green algae, there are three types: vegetative, asexual and sexual reproduction. Green algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation, asexually reproduces by zoospore. Zoospores means motile spore. How many flagellas are present? Means 2 to 8 equal flagellas are attached to the apical portion of the apical portion. Sexually reproduces by isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. Very important to remember examples of the green algae: Chlamydomonas, Cara, Ulothrix and Spirogyra. Next one, next classification of algae is brown algae. So, children's next classification of algae is Phaeophyceae. Phaeophyceae means brown algae is called as a Phaeophyceae. What is the habitat of brown algae? Mostly marine water. The pigments present in brown algae: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and carotenoids and xanthophyll. The pigments present in brown algae: chlorophyll A and C, carotenoid and xanthophyll. What is the color of xanthophyll? Yellow color. Carotenoids are red or orange color. But why it is appear brown color? Presence of the green color pigments, because of dominant pigment in brown algae is fucoxanthin. What is the fucoxanthin? Nothing but it is a xanthophyll. So xanthophyll, it is a olive green color to olive green color to shades of brown color depend on amount of xanthophyll, and so this is called as, the pigment is called as fucoxanthin. Presence of the fucoxanthin, it is algae, it is appear brown color. The dominant pigment in brown algae is fucoxanthin. In brown algae, cell wall differentiated two layers. Outer layer is made up of algin, inner layer made up of cellulose. Algin is a hydrocolloid. Hydrocolloid means it is a commercial product. The cell wall and cell wall made up of cellulose. Cellulose covered by algin. Algin is a hydrocolloid. Hydrocolloid is a commercial product. So the reserved food material. Brown algae is laminarin or mannitol. It is nothing but it is a sugars. Brown algae reproduction vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. Brown algae asexually reproduces by lateral flagella. There are also motile spores. Brown algae asexually reproduces by zoospores. Zoospores means motile spores. How many flagellas are present means 2 flagella. By means 2 flagella. The 2 flagellas are present in the lateral side. Means and brown algae sexually reproduces by zoospores. Zoospores are called as a motile spore. How many flagella present in? 2 flagella which are attached to the lateral side. Sexually reproduces by isogamous. Anisogamous, oogamous. Then examples of the brown algae. Laminaria, fucus, sargassum, dictyota. Very important. Examples are very important in the competitive examination. What is the examples of brown algae? Laminaria, fucus, sargassum, dictyota. Some, when comparatively, and brown algae and green algae, brown algae is called as a phaeophyce, green algae is called as a chlorophyce. The dominant pigment is in green algae is chlorophyce. Brown algae dominant pigment is fucoxanthin. What is fucoxanthin? Is nothing but xanthophyll. But xanthophyll means depend on amount of the xanthophyll, it is appear brown color. So the cell wall is, green algae cell wall is made up of pectin and cellulose, and brown algae cell wall made up of algin and cellulose. Finally, what you understand, all algae are inner cell wall made up of cellulose. The reserved food material of green algae is starch. The reserved food material of brown algae is laminarin or mannitol. Very important to remember the reserved food material of brown algae, and all algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation, and green algae asexually reproduces by zoospores. Brown algae asexually reproduces by zoospore. Zoospores means motile spore. How many flagella are present in green algae means 2 to 8 equal flagella present in the apical side. How many flagella are present in the and zoospores in brown algae means 2 and lateral flagella are. And either green algae, brown algae sexually reproduces by isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous. Examples are very important to remember. Brown algae example, laminaria, fucus, sargassum and dictyota. Dictyota. For example, in some and after comparison between the brown algae and green algae, so in brown algae, simple branched filamentous algae, ectocarpus, very important, simple branched filament. But what is filament? This is the filament. Filament, it containing many cells, many cells. It is a multicellular organism, Branched means this is the branch. Simple branched filamentous algae or brown algae is called as ectocarpus. And branched profusely algae, kelps. But what is kelps? Yesterday we are discussing. And marine algae, example kelps. Kelps means laminaria, and another example macrocysts. But what is a macrocyst? Macro means large, macro means big, macro means largest algae is called as a macrocyst. Okay, branched profuse algae, kelps means it is a marine algae, example laminaria and macrocyst. Macro means large, largest algae is macrocysts. For example, there are many examples are there. For example, fucus is nothing but brown algae. Fucus is a rockweed, and fucus life cycle is diplantic life cycle. The fucus body differentiated hold fast cell and stipe and fronds. For example, in brown algae, very important, this is called as a basal cell is called as a hold fast cell, and above the hold fast cell, small stalk like structure is called as a stipe, and above the stipe, what is present? Leaf like structures is called as a fronds. Not only brown algae, not only fucus and dictyota and laminaria, also the body is brown algae body is differentiated hold fast, stipe and fronds. Fronds. But what is hold fast cell? The basal cell which is not divisible, not exhibit the growth, not perform photosynthesis, useful for the attachment to the substratum is called as a hold fast cell. Above the hold fast cell, small and stalk like structure is called as a stipe, and above the stipe is green color leaf like structures are called as a fronds. It is very important to remember in brown algae. So examples, reserved food material, the pigments present in the brown algae, these are all the and important characters of the brown algae. Next, classification, Rhodophyceae. Red color algae are called as a Rhodophyceae. Mostly marine water. The habitat of red algae is marine water. The pigments present in red algae is chlorophyll A and D, and phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin. What is the dominant pigment in red algae? Is phycoerythrin. That means the green color pigments are present in A and D. Also, and dominating pigment is phycoerythrin. When comparatively, what are the pigments present in chlorophyce? A and B. And phaeophyce, A and C. In rhodophyce, A and D. The dominant pigment in green algae, and green color pigments are called as a chlorophyll pigment. The dominant pigment in brown algae, fucoxanthin. Dominant pigment in red algae, phycoerythrin. In red algae occur in surface of the water and as well as depth into the ocean. Depth into the ocean. Depth into the ocean. In red algae, cell wall is also differentiated, made up of cellulose. Cellulose covered by and gelatinous layer is called as a and pectin. Pectin. Pectin is nothing but carrageen. Carrageen. Very important. What is carrageen? Hydrophilic colloid. The brown algae outer cell wall and hydrophilic colloid is called as a algin. The red algae inner cell wall is made up of cellulose, outer cell wall is made up of pectin. Pectin is nothing but it is called as a carrageen. The reserved food material of red algae is floridine starch. Floridine starch. Red algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. Red algae asexually reproduces non-motile spores. See children, very important. All algae's inner cell wall is made up of cellulose. All algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. Green algae asexually reproduces by motile spores are called as zoospores. Brown algae also asexually reproduces by motile spores. Motile spores. But flagellus are different. 2 to 8 is present in green algae and 2 flagellus lateral unequal 2 flagellus are present in brown algae. But flagellus are absent in red algae or rhodophyce. That means red algae asexually reproduces by non-motile spores and sexually reproduces by oogamous. Oogamous. But what is oogamous? Already I told you what is the definition of oogamous. In oogamous, in rhodophyce, male gamete is called as a spermatium. Female gamete is called as a carpogonium. Carpogonium. The shape of carpogonium is flask shaped. Very important children. In red algae sexually reproduces by oogamous and in male gamete is in oogamous, male and the fusion of male and female gametes. In male gamete is called as a spermatium. Female gamete is called as a carpogonium. The shape of carpogonium is flask shaped. Flask shaped. So children, so small, within 2 minutes when I will comparison between the 3 algae. What are the important points to remember? The pigments present in green algae A and B, brown algae A and C, red algae A and D. The dominant pigment in green algae is chlorophyll pigment. Dominant pigment in brown algae is fucoxanthin. The dominant pigment in red algae is phycoerythrin, but which contain other pigments like a chlorophyll pigments and carotenoids, but dominant pigments are the important to remember. Next, the reserved food material of green algae is starch. The reserved food material of brown algae is laminarin or mannitol. The reserved food material red algae is floridine starch. And all algae cell covered by cell wall is differentiated two layers, outer layer and inner layer. In green algae, outer cell wall is made up of, and pectin, inner cell wall is made up of cellulose. In brown algae, outer layer is made up of algin, inner layer is made up of cellulose. Red algae, outer layer is made up of pectin, nothing but it is called as a, and carrageen, and red algae inner layer is made up of cellulose. Finally, just remember, all inner cell wall layer is made up of cellulose. But very important, the brown algae hydrocolloid is algin, red algae hydrocolloid is carrageen. All algae vegetatively reproduces by fragmentation. Asexually reproduce motile, non-motile, and so sexually reproduces by isogamous, anisogamous, oogamous, oogamous. In red algae sexually reproduces by oogamous. In oogamous, male gamete is called as a spermatium, female gamete is called as a carpogonium. The shape of carpogonium is called as a flask shape.